Today we're going to talk about 10 signs of high IQ that have absolutely nothing to do with test scores. These are the subtle, kind of misunderstood traits of a really powerful mind. And hey, if you've ever felt a little different, this just might explain why. So have you ever been in a room and just felt like you weren't quite keeping up? You know, that feeling that everyone else just gets it faster? Well, what if I told you that's not the whole picture? What if you actually have a higher IQ than you think and the signs are just hiding in plain sight? We're about to dive into a kind of intelligence that honestly operates on a level most people don't even recognize. Okay, let's get right into it. Our first group of signs, they're all about your internal world. Those little quirks of your mind that might seem strange from the outside, but are actually hallmarks of a super powerful intellect. Let's start with a big one, a habit that a lot of us have probably been told to stop doing at some point. Yep, that's right, talking to yourself. It might feel a little weird, I get it, but check this out. Research from the University of Wisconsin actually shows that people who verbalize their thoughts process information way faster. You're essentially coaching your own brain right there in real time. Even Einstein was known to do it. So if you catch yourself mumbling through a problem, don't worry about it. You're in some pretty brilliant company. All right, now for a trait that often gets a really bad rap, but is secretly a kind of cognitive superpower. Do you find yourself replaying conversations in your head, maybe second-guessing a decision you made last week, or imagining like 50 different ways a single event could play out? Well, that's not just anxiety. It's actually a form of deep analysis. Your brain is running these incredibly complex simulations. And, neuroscientists have a fantastic name for this. It's called metacognition. Metacognition is a seriously high-level skill. It means you're not just thinking, you're actively thinking about how you think. You're evaluating your own thought processes, trying to improve them. It's kind of like being the manager of your own mind, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's move on to our next sign. And this one is a true paradox when it comes to intelligence. So this next one feels completely backward. Constant self-doubt. I mean, how could that possibly be a sign of being smart? Well, it all comes down to this fascinating psychological principle known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. And here's the key thing to understand. Experts are often the ones filled with doubt because they truly grasp the vast complexity of their field. They know just how much there is left to learn. Meanwhile, someone with very little knowledge might feel super confident because they just don't know what they don't know. So that self-doubt you feel, it's not a weakness. It's actually a sign of your intellectual humility and your awareness. And for our final sign in this section, we're going to move away from pure logic and into the world of emotions. This one surprises a lot of people. We have this idea of geniuses being cold and detached, right? But the reality is often the exact opposite. Having deep empathy and feeling intense emotions isn't a flaw. It's a sign of what's called neural sophistication. A really powerful brain doesn't just think deeply, it feels deeply too. All right, so we've been looking at the internal world. Let's shift gears and look at the external. How do these smart brains actually behave in the day-to-day? These next few signs are all about the common habits of the highly intelligent. First up is a behavior that is almost always, and I mean always, mistaken for a major character flaw. If you absolutely cannot stand repetitive tasks, it's probably not because you're lazy. It's because your brain is literally wired for novelty. See, when a task is too simple or predictable, you don't get that same little chemical reward, that dopamine hit, that others might. So your brain is always on the lookout, actively seeking more complex and engaging challenges just to stay stimulated. Next up is a sign that shows up in your daily schedule, or maybe more accurately, your nightly one. Are you a night owl? Well, research from the London School of Economics found this really fascinating link. People who prefer to stay up late also tend to score higher on intelligence tests. So why is that? The theory is that creative insights and those aha moments often pop up in the quiet of the night, when all the daily distractions have finally faded away and your mind is free to just wander and make new connections. And for our final habit in this section, let's talk about something we all do, but, well, intelligent people seem to do it differently. Procrastination. It gets such a bad rap, but psychologists at the University of Calgary found that many high IQ folks use something called active procrastination. This means your brain isn't just avoiding work, it's playing a strategic waiting game. It's conserving its energy for when a task truly matters. That's probably why you do your absolute best work right before a deadline. It's not chaos, it's your brain being efficient. Okay, we have covered some incredible ground here, but now we're going to jump ahead to the final and honestly the most important sign on our entire list. It's the one single trait that geniuses from Leonardo da Vinci all the way to Marie Curie had in common. This is the ultimate tell. We are jumping straight to number 10 because this is the capstone. This is the single most important sign of a truly brilliant mind. And this is it. This is the whole ballgame. The ultimate sign of intelligence isn't about what you already know. It's about your relentless, unstoppable drive to know more. True geniuses are defined by their insatiable curiosity. They never ever stop asking questions. And honestly, the very fact that you're here, watching this, trying to understand yourself better, that right there, that's the key. So when you boil it all down, the big takeaway is that being smart isn't about your grades or how fast you can solve a math problem. It's about these deeper qualities. It's about self-awareness, the ability to adapt, a burning curiosity, and a real depth of thought and feeling. So the next time someone calls you too sensitive or too quiet, or maybe too lost in your own head, you can just smile, because that's what real intelligence often looks like. And that leaves us with one final thought. After going through all of these signs, which one resonated with you the most? Which one made you just stop and reconsider your own definition of what it really means to be smart? Something to think about.